Hello there, Taurus. Welcome to your tarot reading. So I have four messages for you. I'm going to relay them first, and then we'll pull the cards, and then we'll go into your reading, okay? The first message that I'm getting here is they mention wanting to get out from under other people's control or under other people's expectations, wanting to either prove yourself, wanting an opportunity to put yourself out there, okay? I feel for many of you, this is kind of like wanting to break away from the family and to live on your own. So having your own independence, having your own space. I don't feel like this is something that is a financially motivated decision, but I do feel that you are seeking a lot more opportunities for independence, for growth, for you to, try to kind of like gauge how you are, basically how responsible you are, how independent you are, and how capable you are of taking care of yourself and being on your own. And then for others of you, I feel like we are dealing with a situation where family expectations of us might not be appropriate for us. And, you are a sign that is generally very, very respectful of other people's opinions, other people's wishes. And when people say something you might not even agree with, I don't feel many of you are going to be very verbose about, picking a fight or being, or expressing, your discontent or your alternate views when confronted with opposition. So you're not somebody that will, pick a fight with other people just out of the blue. And so a lot of the times too, I feel like expectations when it comes to what your family members expect of you, what they want from you, and things like that, it might prove to be a little bit too burdensome. And you just want to have your own independence, have your own space, and to not have to, abide by other people's rules, other people's regulations. I do feel there might be overpowering parental figures in the picture as well, which, further emphasizes the need for you to get out from under other people's control. And then I'm also feeling for others of you, this is also in a work environment where we are dealing with people that might be micromanaging us, or people that are not giving us the opportunities or the additional responsibilities so that we can prove ourselves. So I feel you feel that you have more potential for growth elsewhere. So you want to, remove yourself from that situation. The second message that I have here is they say reinventing yourself. So reinventing yourself, I feel it is playing out more so in your social circle. So it's sort of like the things that you have liked in the past. For example, I feel many of you reverting to doing a lot more physical activities, reverting to doing a lot more things, that are a little bit more quieter in nature. And you're no longer, like, for example, if you used to, just get a group of friends together, go to a bar and, stay out all night, I feel like you're reinventing yourself in the ways that you entertain yourself. So I feel like rather than doing that, many of you are reverting to, wanting to have your own space so you can entertain guests at home, so that you can invite more meaningful people, have more meaningful conversations where the music is not so loud, where people are not, constantly intoxicated, and where people are constantly talking over each other. So you might just entertain people at home, or you might feel like, I don't really want to do that anymore. Everyone said it was fun, but it's not for me. So you're opting out. And I feel like you're not taking offers. You're not taking offers just because everyone expects you to. I feel like you're being a lot more selective about to which avenue or to which activities you are devoting your time. I see a lot of people taking a lot more enjoyment, having a lot more enjoyment in the outdoors. So getting yourself physically active, changes in your dietary habits as well, tastes in food preferences when it comes to what you drink, what you put in your body, and what you find enjoyable when it comes to music, books, just recreational things. You are reinventing yourself, and you are kind of like coming into your own about like, okay, everyone said this was good, I did it, but I didn't really like it, it's not really for me. So I feel like a lot of you are going through this major change where you are finding yourself, and you are not only reinventing yourself, but finding out what you really like, independent of what other people say they like. Okay, so it's not about bandwagoning, but I feel that you are a lot more selective and critical, and you're putting what other people say under scrutiny so that you can decide for yourself what it is that's right for you. The third message that I have here is they say killing them with kindness. This is in regards to work environment. And I feel for many of you, if you are dealing with the public in some way, there will be harsh criticism. There will be, negativity. There will also be opportunities where people are going to put you in the hot seat and ask you questions that might be uncomfortable, or they are going to do things to, they're going to do things that might not be very nice. And I feel like one of the major important thing coming through is with killing them with kindness is maintain your composure. Don't bring yourself down to that vibrational level where you have to counter acts of kindness with further acts of, or counter acts of unkindness with further acts of unkindness. So harsh words, don't counter them with, harsh words. So I feel like operating from a place of wisdom, from a place where you know where you stand, and that you don't need to resort to, some underhanded tactics in order to attack the other person. I feel like that's really, really crucial. I feel for many of you, if you are dealing in working in a sales capacity, or you are somehow like a representative for an organization, a company, and you're dealing heavily with the public, this message is going to be very crucial for you. So they're really saying not to lose your composure. The minute the first person in a social interaction, the minute the person loses their composure, they've already lost the debate, okay? So it's really crucial for you to really think about how to be very, very well composed, and how to also not let your feelings and your sense of objectivity get away from you, so that you can prove to other people you are well composed, you are calm, and you're not going to counter acts of defiance or unkindness with, the same behavior. So I feel like that's going to be in your favor, okay? People will see how calmly and how righteously you allow things to kind of just like fall off you, to roll off your back, rather than letting them get under your skin. That's going to be very crucial. The last message that I'm hearing here, it sounds a little bit strange, but I'm hearing, first of all, a grunt, kind of like, oh. And then I heard finally, and I feel like, and then I hear like glasses, clinking, kind of like a celebratory cheers. And I feel like this is playing out in your relationship sector, where you have somebody in your presence. It's like you're meeting somebody, dating somebody, or with somebody who gets you. And so if you have been kind of like, out and about dating and you haven't really found anybody, I feel like this is the month where you're just like, okay, finally, I have somebody that I can talk to. I have somebody that gets me. I have somebody that I really like. And I feel you're asking the other person, because, the rapport is, it's great between the two of you, that you're asking the other person kind of like, where have you been all my life? So I feel like you have some major, major breakthrough here when it comes to love relationships, and when it comes to being able to meet people who just innately understand you, who gets you, and who is, I feel, you're going to be in good company overall. So dating life, romance, and things like that, for people who are single, who are currently just dating around, trying to find Mr. or Mrs. Right, you're going to have a lot of luck for this month, okay? I feel overall that the message, it's funny, it says, oh, finally. It's sort of like something you have been waiting on for a really, really long time. You almost gave up hope. You almost think like, oh, it's just a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. I'm sensing that it's going to happen for you guys for this month, and it's good. You're just going to be like, finally, and then I feel like for others of you, there might have been like there's like a patching up between you and a significant other. So for those people who are coupled up, and you might have had a lot of problems interacting with your spouse, your significant other, and you might have a lot of creative differences with each other. This is the month in which the other person finally understands where you're coming from. So if there has been something that you can't just really, you just for whatever reason can't really agree on, and it has been a long-standing issue, this is the month in which something happens to them. I don't feel like it's a bad event or anything like that, but it's kind of like that light bulb moment, where things just click and they're like, okay, I understand what the Taurian people have been telling me, or I understand what that Taurus person, I now get them. And I feel like they're going to come to you and they're going to talk about this event. And they're going to be like, oh, I didn't understand what you were saying before, but I get it now. I get it. And so there could be an apology, or there could just be, kind of like that sense of mutual understanding. One last thing that I want to emphasize here, because it came out with this message, with this card, I'm sorry. I feel like for many of you, there's a sense here. They mention with parents, okay, and I especially feel like, well, mother or father, but I feel like more of a maternal link. Even though this is generally a male, I feel like there's a little bit more of a maternal link. So they're mentioning here, for a lot of you, you have a mother figure that is really, really independent and very, very strong. And I feel like for some of you, the mother figure could have been somebody who's very, very loving, but she was very career oriented, and she might not have had the time to, really shower you with a lot of affection and a lot of love, because she was constantly working. And then for others of you, you might have somebody who's very opinionated, like a mother figure who's very opinionated. And she's sort of like, very type A, my way or the highway. And you love each other. I don't feel like love was missing in the relationship. But I feel that no matter what, you always look up to her. I'm sensing for this month, you've always seen her as a very strong, independent person, somebody you never had to worry about, somebody you feel is very emotionally held together. You're going to be interacting with your mother this month, and I feel like she's going to reveal some things to you that she might have not talked about in the past, because she didn't want you to worry, because she didn't want you to, as a child, to feel like she's not capable. And I feel like it's going to change the way you see her. So I feel like the facade, I guess, is kind of like corroding away, and you're going to see her, and it's going to deepen the relationship between the two of you. So I feel you're going to be hearing a lot from your mom for this month, for those of you who, have that type of a mother figure. And I'm also feeling as well, contact your parents. Those of you who are watching this, you haven't heard from them or haven't contacted them for a while. I feel like they are worried about you, and I feel that it would be good for you to just, reach out to them, okay? We're going to go into your reading here, Taurus. So the first card that really jumped out at me here is, let me just talk about this. Once again, this is a card overall about the family unit, okay? And as well, people with very, very different life experiences. So this is your family, but I'm saying like everybody within the family unit. Children grow up and they leave the nest and they make decisions on their own, right? And then you, likewise, your parents want you to do something. Your parents might want your siblings to do something. And everyone is just kind of like flying the nest or fleeing the nest and doing their own thing. And you might have rebellious siblings. You might also have, a lot of strife in the family. There is love. I feel like there's stability and there's love. But it just feels almost as if parents' expectations for children are not abided by, okay? And then also children's expectations for parents. Children might want a lot more independence that the parents are not able to give. So I feel like some issues within the family coming to a head regarding what we want from other people, regarding what people expect from us, and regarding how and whether or not it's possible to even fulfill these family expectations. I feel a lot of you are coming from big household where there is a lot of just, people talking, like aunts and uncles talking about their kids, and then your parents talking about you, and comparing, you with your cousins and things like that. And you're just like, oh, I just don't want to be talked about in that way. I don't want to be compared to other people, and it's not appropriate. So I feel like there's this sense of like feeling very tired, feeling very like exhausted about, having to live up to family expectations, having to live up to abide by certain rules, abide by certain family customs, even, or even, like cultural customs. So this month, I feel like the issues regarding what we do as a family and what family are supposed to do for each other, it becomes a little bit of it becomes a little bit stifling. And so you're going to have to, change your perception. You're going to also have to, I guess, like reassess what's really important, and reassess, whether or not it's really appropriate for you to abide by things that other people impose upon you. Okay. Additionally, with this card, what I also have as well is I'm getting a lot of people. I'm getting a lot of people who might have like who might come from blended families. So I'm getting people who might also be adopted into a family. I'm also getting people who might live with extended, different generations. So for example, you might not live alone. You might live with parents. You might live with in-laws. You might also live with grandparents in the same household. And so there's just too many people in the environment, and it's difficult to navigate this energy. And some of you might be wanting to flee the nest, the safety and security and the financial abundance within the nest, mainly because you need to have your own space. So I feel that if you are of the right age and you feel like you need to get out there and prove your independence, I don't feel like you have anything to prove, but I do feel it would be good for you to test yourself and see whether or not you're capable of having the independence. So I do feel, I've been feeling this for you guys for since April. I feel that it's really important for you to have your own space that you can come to, that can serve as your haven, so that you can, feel comfortable, feel good, and just feel secure. Okay. I'm getting a little bit of an awkwardness energy. This is a card overall about, physical needs. Okay, so let me just say like physical, sexual needs. And I feel like some of you might be in a position where you're wanting to date, you're wanting to be intimate with your partner, and you might live with parents, for example. So that's creating a little bit of an awkward situation. Or you might have a lot of roommates and you can't really have people that you love and people that you're dating to come over all the time. So I do feel some issues here about the housing environment interfering with the intimacy in your relationship. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I feel like some of you need to have your own space. If you are financially able, get your own space, because being in this environment when you are trying to, foster new love relationships, I feel like it's going to be quite challenging. Okay. So that is that. Let's move on to the second message coming through here. This is the card of the Father. Okay, this is the card of the Father. Let me just say, this message is not going to apply to all, but it's going to apply to, a few people watching this who are dealing with this. If you've had some very, very tenuous, estranged even relationship with your father, okay, I feel like it is very, very important for you. First of all, they mention here that the father coming from a place, like a place that wasn't very stable and wasn't very healthy, okay? So for whatever reason, they mention for you to be, contact your parents, figure out if they're okay, see if there's anything that they need you to help them with, especially if their mobility is limited, or especially if they're on the older age spectrum, or especially if their health is on the decline. They're saying here is to patch things up and to understand, to like put yourself in his shoes, to understand, what was going on. So if you've had a difficult, tenuous relationship with him, I feel like it would be real. Some things are happening happening this month for you to kind of like understand where he's coming from and why he made the decisions that he did. So you might not have agreed with everything that he proposed, or the way he behaved, or the lessons that were taught to you by this person. And for some of you, he might have been very absent in your life, and I feel that it's really hard for you to it's almost like you feel, okay, he wasn't in my life, I'm not going to make the effort to be in his. And so I feel like you are going to be rethinking this behavior, because I do feel he is trying to reach out, and I do feel that he has overcome a lot of bad, negative experiences in his life. He is getting the wisdom and the insights from it, and he is trying to be a better person. He's trying to move away, he's trying to rebuild himself, and he's also trying to, create that space so that he can be more functional, more healthy, and independent as well. So I do feel that, if you have some type of a contact from him, or if he's trying to make amends, give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I feel like, it's always good to give people chances, especially if it is family members, mainly because those are the most karmic relationships you will have in your entire life. Okay, let me talk here about your relationship sector, because we have some really beautiful things coming through. You have a new person that is coming into the picture for you. So we have some really beautiful things. Okay, first of all, we have here the Knight of Cups, which is basically finding new love, making a love offer, making a gesture to another person. And we have the Star card, which is a wish fulfillment card. And I mentioned that message earlier. Oh, finally, you're meeting somebody that is really going to blow your mind. You're meeting somebody this month, or you are either already in contact with them. And I feel that you're going to make a grand gesture towards this person because they really blow you away. Okay, this is kind of like a wish come true, meeting the Mr. or the Mrs. Right, and having enough insight, having enough knowledge that you're everything that I'm looking for, and I'm gonna, I'm not gonna lose you. I'm gonna keep you right by my side. I'm gonna make you an offer so that we can be in a relationship. So I do feel many of you are gonna be meeting somebody who is pretty amazing. Okay, I'm going to do your love reading in a little bit, just to pinpoint signs and zodiac signs and even energies, but I feel that spectacular dating opportunities will be in store for you guys for this month. Singles, I can't stress this enough, this is a once in a lifetime thing, so you definitely want to make yourself available to date. And it's actually weird that it's coming in a Mercury retrograde cycle, but I do feel that this is still going to be a good thing. It's good to put yourself out there, and it's good for you to surround yourself with these people, because I feel like they're going to be very inspiring. They're going to be very, it's going to be a very transformative month for you guys when it comes to dating and relationships overall. Okay. For many of you, we have here a situation from the past. We have communication and things like that coming through from the past. And I do feel that you have somebody here that you might have really, really loved in the past, okay? So we have, once again, offers of love, communication regarding feelings, regarding emotionally opening up. So you are emotionally opening up to other people, or other people are emotionally opening up to you, and there's going to be some type of a letting go of past hurts, letting go of past relationships, so that you're not bogged down by them and you're not like weighed down and not able to move on with your love life. Okay, if you have a person in your life that is communicating with you, that is bringing messages, that is wanting to reconcile, and that is trying to reach out to you, I feel like they're coming a little bit too belatedly, because it feels to me like you have already met somebody else, or you are already seeing somebody else when the person from the past decides to come back in. So I feel for many of you, you're changing direction when it comes to dating. You're no longer putting your life on hold when it comes to people from the past, and you're really trying to move on, and you have already met somebody or will be meeting for the month of August. So I feel like this energy can be from now until the end of this year. Okay, so from the month of August until the December timeframe, where the new person will kind of really blow your mind. And I feel like the new person is going to treat you really well, to the point where if you've had trust issues, if you've had codependency issues, if you've had toxic relationship partners from the past, I feel like this person is going to treat you well, so well, and they're going to be very truthful, very honest, very open to communication, and they're going to restore all the they're going to make you believe in love again. So I feel like the energy is really, really beautiful. What I do sense as well is we have a lot of clean slate energy coming through. Okay, so with the Magician, this is kind of like you've been wanting this, you can manifest it, and now that it's coming into the picture, you have total control over what you do with it. You're not going to repeat patterns from the past. So this is breaking away from past relationship patterns, breaking away from unhealthy people and unhealthy habits in order to keep yourself in a space where you can, move on. I do sense overall with this Devil card, this is not just exclusive to relationship. This is more like, I'm not going to, indulge in that type of behavior, like smoking, drinking, having, a lot of, I feel like you are changing your social circle too. You would rather be alone and be on your own rather than, hanging around with people that vibrationally bring you down. So if they have a tendency to revert to, a lot of recreational activities that might be destructive, okay, let's just leave it at that. I don't feel that you're going to enjoy their company anymore, and I don't feel that you're going to want to hang around them anymore, because it feels to me like you'd rather be independent, you would rather be on your own than be in this type of a low vibrational environment, okay? The other thing that is coming through here is we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. This is basically catching somebody in the act, okay? Like catching somebody being deceitful, being conniving, doing something that they're not supposed to do, and behaving in a way that is very, very reckless or even dangerous, or even, just not for their greater good. And seeing this situation and not being able to either talk about it, because I feel like this is something you might have suspected here with the High Priestess, and you're seeing it play out. So you suspected it, and you're actually getting the validation you need and the confirmation that you need. And so this is the month in which you are going to be a witness to this. I feel for many of you, it is linked up here with a fire sign. So this is a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. And I feel like this is a situation where it could be like a friend of yours who is already in a relationship and they're choosing to step out of the relationship. For others of you, this is an ex in your life that you might have trust issues, you might have a lot of conflict with, and you're kind of catching them in the act this month. And for others, I feel like there is a person from the past trying to come back in, trying to be a part of your love life again, but you have already moved on. So I do feel this month is, there's a lot of new beginnings happening for you, and you are definitely, you're closing doors on, people from the past. Being a fixed sign, I feel like fixed signs overall, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpios, and you guys, Taurus, when you love very deeply, and when you care about somebody, you care very deeply, and you are willing to give people multiple tries. And it's not easy for you to walk away. It's not easy. But once you make up your mind, fixed signs, once you make up your mind to walk away, you don't look back, okay? I feel like Cancerian people have a habit of going back to situations. They have a habit of like loving too much and leaving themselves too vulnerable. But I feel like you fixed signs, Scorpios, Aquarius, Leos, and you guys, you're very, very good about closing doors, slamming it shut, barring it shut, and just no longer looking back. So this is the month in which some things will be very, very final. Okay, you have already made huge strides when it comes to leaving the past in the past, not being bothered with it anymore, and emotionally just shutting it out and just moving on. So I'm really happy to see this energy for you guys, and I feel that it's going to be quite good. Okay, so moving forward, it's allowing you to move on. It's allowing you to, because you closed the doors on the past, you're no longer looking towards it, and you're going to have new things coming through. Because those doors are shut, it creates a vacuum, so new things are coming in to fill in the void. Okay, so I'm really happy to see this for you. I feel like it's going to be a really good month. And I also feel as well, for those who are dating, there's a little bit of awkwardness here with your living situation and wanting to, have a relationship partner in the home. I feel like there's some awkwardness around that. So, figure things out. And, if you want to make the move, if you are financially capable, I feel like it's important to move away. Okay. So we are going to go into your love and relationship reading. And I know that the general reading was very heavily geared towards love and relationship, not so much about career and finance. And I always believe no news is good news, right, when it comes to money and finances. So let's just go into your love, relationship, and romance reading. Okay, so let me move this up a little bit. You definitely got some blast from the past that is coming in. And whatever you decide to do with that is up to you. But I would say that I feel like the message needs to be reiterated, okay? We need to allow ourselves to close some doors on the past. It creates that vacuum, right? So for example, you broke up with somebody that was deceitful. It creates that little vacuum in your love sector. And when there's that vacuum, the universe will bring something else into the picture to fill that vacuum. And that is one of the message I try to get, a lot of the other signs or a lot of clients and people to understand. There are always new opportunities. We just need to keep ourselves open to these opportunities in order to be able to get what we want. And so when I mention in these readings, I'm very, very firm about, believing that relationships, there is a time and there's a season. Once it ends, allow new people to come in. And so my advice has always been to not cycle back in with past relationship partners, especially if it has been very, very tenuous. Okay. So what you decide to do with that is up to you. But let me just give you a little bit of information here, and hopefully that can, allow you the clarity. Okay. So let me talk first of all about the foundation. We have here the Lovers. And we have here the Four of Wands. The Lovers is a really, really beautiful relationship that is built on mutual attraction, chemistry, and I feel like overall a very, very strong sense of like loving another person. So for those of you who are in relationships, this is the month where you make the proposal or the other person proposes to you, because we have here the marriage card, okay? In the foundation, I feel like you are already in relationship where you are planning the next stages with the other person. Do we go on a honeymoon? Where do we go? How big do you want the wedding ceremony to be? Do you want to invite your family or, all of my family, or what do we want to do when it comes to that big moment, big event, and big day? So I feel like a lot of you are already engaged with a person, and you are in a very, very good, solid, stable relationship. I feel that the relationship itself, it came in a very unexpected way. You were kind of like fumbling through the dark. You have, you were feeling like this, the Five of Pentacles, which is, for whatever reason, you felt very demoralized as a result of a past relationship. You felt almost like cast out. You felt very unloved, right? And you felt like you were in this dark cave, and you were isolating yourself from love. And there were opportunities where people were interested in you. So they're coming in, giving you lifelines. They're like, you want to do this? You want to go out with me? You want to date me? And I feel like you had options. It's not like you didn't try to move on from that past relationship. It feels to me like you had options, but the past relationship was a little bit difficult to recover from. And as a result of it, I feel like it really chipped away at your self-esteem. So you were in this dark place when the relationship unexpectedly happens. And I feel like the person that you were dealing with is very straightforward. This is the 9 of Cups here. This is someone with a lot of love, and they wear their hearts on their sleeves, okay? They're a little bit like, they're so, I want to say, they're so emotionally honest that it caught you off guard. They came in without hidden agenda, without ulterior motives. And I feel like they're just very, very innocent. And I feel like a lot of you have been caught off guard. It's like all of a sudden it happened. You didn't expect it. You didn't think it was going to happen. And you didn't think, that the universe would grant you this perfect person. So I feel like the relationship that you're in, it came in a very unexpected way. And it came in a way where that person is very innocent. I do feel, though, there's a sense here of cultural differences, okay? This is kind of like your family telling you, no, you need to marry this person, you need to marry that person, you need to marry, people with certain characteristics. And you're just like, no, I'm gonna go for this person even though they're different from me, and I don't really care. So I feel like your family, you have very opinionated family members, Taurus. And I feel like they're chipping in, offering their 2 cents, and it's not even appropriate. And so I feel like despite what your family members say, you're going to do what you want to do because, as a fixed sign, you're very stubborn. And so you're going to go ahead and pursue that other person and have that relationship. And some of you, I feel like you're wanting to take a relationship to the next level, such as proposing to somebody, or even moving in with another person, and then your family might not approve, and you don't really care. So I feel that for many of you, a relationship it's going really well. Couple people, your relationships are, it's like bliss to me, and it's kind of like, me, you against the world. So I feel like you have a lot of faith and confidence in your relationship partner, okay? For others who might be single, we have a situation here with this is the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords is a situation where we are keeping ourselves stuck, where there was a relationship that was very stagnant, or I feel like you didn't have all the information that you need in order for you to put all the pieces of the puzzle in place, in order for you to satisfyingly have all the information you need so you can move on. So I feel like there was a lot of unanswered questions in a relationship, and you're kind of racking your brains trying to figure out what happened. I do feel for a lot of you, you're still you were still very hung up on a relationship partner, and we have here an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. This is a sun, moon, or rising. And I do feel that physically, you might already be moving away from this person. They're no longer in the picture. You might have tried dating, but there were still unfinished business or, hidden things associated with this person, and you can't really get a straight answer from them. For some of you, this person showing up here as a page, their energy is very, very young, and they are somebody that I feel like they change their stories quite often. So that means, you know, depending on the audience, they kind of know how to work the crowd, okay? So I feel like you're dealing with someone that might not be truthful 100% of the time. And so you need to really analyze, you need to observe, and you need to really dissect the information that they are giving you. So this is kind of like telling you to be very, very careful when it comes to communication from this person, because I feel like you have somebody coming back in trying to spin you a story. And I feel like logically, you're just like, okay, I want all of those plot holes to be filled in. I want to know exactly what happened. They're giving you half-hearted attempts at answers, but they're not giving you the truth. So they're saying here, there's an extra warning. Really use your higher self, your higher knowledge, your wisdom to dissect the story and to not take it at face value, okay? Grounding this reading is something that you are thinking about. We have an air sign, so it could be the same person. This is an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And this is somebody that you have known for a very, very long time. You might also have children with this person, because we have here the Page energy and the King energy. So I feel like it indicates like a person that you share children with, you have children with, or a person that you've known for a really long time. And we have the card with the Five of Swords, which indicates a lot of strife, a lot of mistrust, a lot of conflict. So you might be dealing with your ex that you have children with, and there's a lot of strife as to what we need to do with the children. And there's also an element of, you know, the children kind of like playing one parent against the other. So you want to be very, very careful about that, okay? If you are in a relationship and you have children, be very, very careful about teamwork, working together as a team so that you can provide the proper structure and the discipline required for the children. And I know this is a love relationship reading, and that's not, you know, that's more family related, but I feel like it's really important for the both of you to have a united front against to provide proper discipline within the household, okay? So if you agree or if you have disagreements over what a child should do, make sure you have these discussions out of view, behind closed doors, so that the child doesn't see that there is discord or disagreement between the two of you. And the child can, you know, children are very smart. They know how to, you know, they know who the lenient parent is. They know who the strict parent is. So you need to be, even if you disagree, you need to be on the same page, and you need to form a united front so that the child doesn't get in between. And I also feel as well, you both need to agree to be very, very extra firm when it comes to discipline, because with this Page of Sword energy, this is a very smart child that knows how to push boundaries, okay? So I'm just going to leave it at that. And then I feel like others of you dealing with this ex-partner you might have children with, and there's a lot of strife, and I feel like they're trying to come back in, trying to invoke some type of strife, wanting to further communicate, and there has been just a lot of tenuous, you know, the energy is not very positive, okay? So try to let the situation go. If it's already in the past, having answers is always nice. You know, some of us need that closure, right? But I feel like it's already in the past. Let bygones be bygones and move on with your life without that person. It doesn't feel very good for you, and it doesn't feel very honest, okay? Moving forward, what we have here is the Judgment card, and the Judgment card is basically a new beginnings, starting over, branching off to something new and moving on, turning that blank page, starting a new chapter. So I feel like you're closing some doors for good, and you're not letting the past back in. And we have here the Ace of Cups. Many of you have a new person that is in the picture for you. And I have here the Devil as well, which is a relationship that has a lot of physical attraction, okay? Like you might want to take it a little bit slowly, because like I said, you know, it's a lot of you might be meeting new people, and you might have somebody that you are completely like swept off your feet with. So with this Devil energy, and the Ace of Cups, I don't feel that it's going to go awry, but I do feel either way it might be in your best interest to slow things down a little bit. Sorry about the mosquito. I'm in an area where there are a lot of mosquitoes. So he's just flying around, and it's midnight here, so he's just flying around looking for a place to land to bite. So I apologize. But overall, the Ace of Cups and the Devil both indicate really, really strong attraction, okay? And it's attraction that, if not handled well, it can be difficult, okay? So it's like really strong physical attraction that you have to another person. And you might want to take that extra step to be, you know, to do things methodically in order for this to work out, because I feel like the attraction is so strong, you might get physically involved with each other before you know very much about each other. So, you know, err on the side of caution, err on the side of safety for health reasons, for example, and then err on the side of, you know, just taking things slow so that this can have a good foundation to begin with, okay? So, a Taurus, I feel like it's going to be a very, very phenomenal dating month, especially for singles. For coupled people, I just feel like family interference in relationships. I also feel like you and your partner are going to be sharing a lot of information about your respective families, you know, like talking about families, talking about, oh, my mom is like this, my dad is like this, so on and so forth. So I do feel a lot of communication and a lot of solidification when it comes to people who are in relationships, and especially people who are married. Your relationships seem very, very stable. It's like people are not really going to be getting in between the two of you, okay? So I hope the reading has been helpful for you. You've got some really good things coming in for this month, Taurus. And I'll be back for the mid-month reading. If you'd like to book an appointment with me, visit my website. The information is in the description box below. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.